I mean, I think she launched a fake Me Too allegation against him, and she's lived to regret doing it because virtually every allegation she has made has fallen apart. And so for her to be honored for doing that, to try to ruin a man over absolutely nothing, is a scandal.
Yeah.
And obviously they're looking for big stars to come here and generate pages on their magazines, but that was very wrong.
Right.
My life was influenced most by my mother. Sitting here tonight, Willie Elaine McAlpin.
Oh, Blake's mother!
Megyn Kelly has reportedly exposed what Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds worked hard to keep hidden at the 100 Gala, shattering their picture-perfect image when she publicly called out Blake's alleged manipulative behavior on stage. The Hollywood power couple is said to have had a complete backstage meltdown following the humiliation, with sources claiming Blake has been using everyone around her, even her own mother, to maintain a flawless public facade, sparking chaos behind the scenes and raising serious questions about the future of their reputation.
Ryan and her mother decided to attend the Time 100 Gala. There they are. Look, I gotta be honest, they are trying so hard. All these photos are just so ridiculous. Look at the gown. This photo really took the cake for me. And I don't know if you noticed over here, who is this woman? She is my spirit animal because she wants nothing to do with this malarkey. She's like, oh God, get me out of here. Now this one right here, you're gonna see in a second, that's Leslie Sloan. There she is. Here's my hero, whoever, I don't know who that is, but I love her stone face. And there's Leslie Stone, which we get for the first time. She doesn't tend to like to be in the press, but we're gonna put her in the press. There she is with Blake's mother, Ryan, on the red carpet as they get ready for photo ops, having a good time. Look how much fun they are having at the red carpet event, because, you know, that's what couples who are suffering with traumatic, crippling fear and harassment do, is they go out and smile for cameras and act like there's nothing happening. Ryan looks terrified. Like, Ryan genuinely stuck between these women. All a PR stunt. I'm like uncomfortable. I'm visibly uncomfortable watching them sort of force themselves through events. So we were all asking, why are they at this event? What's that?
What was meant to be a glittering night of celebration at the Time 100 Gala quickly turned into Blake Lively's most public and humiliating moment when Megyn Kelly took the stage and blindsided the room. As Hollywood's elite settled in, expecting a routine, flattering speech, Kelly's tone suddenly sharpened and her focus locked onto Blake's table, sending an instant chill through the ballroom. Speaking about influence built on responsibility, Kelly unveiled screenshots challenging Blake's long-told origin story about creating her Betty Buzz brand in her kitchen using her mother's recipes, citing former employees who claimed professional developers were actually behind the product, while the narrative was crafted for branding. Gasps rippled through the audience as Blake reportedly went pale and froze, Ryan Reynolds sitting stiffly beside her without his usual charm, leaving witnesses to describe the moment as a shocking public unraveling of the couple's carefully curated image. Ryan reportedly realized in that instant this was no playful jab, but a full-scale character takedown as Megyn Kelly pressed on, rolling a comparison reel of Blake Lively's past interviews that highlighted glaring contradictions in her origin stories. Kelly challenged Blake's self-made narrative, pointing to her privileged upbringing, access to Hollywood power circles, and the teams of professionals behind the products she claims to personally craft, leaving the ballroom in stunned silence as guests froze mid-bite and publicists scrambled. The final blow came when Kelly dismantled Blake's carefully cultivated image as a hands-on, devoted mother deeply involved in her business, citing sources who claimed her role was largely performative rather than operational. As Kelly concluded by labeling Blake not an actress or entrepreneur, but an illusionist, cameras caught Blake whispering urgently to Ryan, panic replacing poise, signaling the moment their glossy facade cracked as Hollywood's golden couple was publicly exposed before an audience that witnessed every second.
Like, be avoiding her inside because she's expected to be here with Ryan.
I have a feeling she's going to be avoiding me. I won't be avoiding anybody.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And what do you think of like her new movie, Another Simple Favor? People are saying she's feuding with Anna. Like, do you believe that? Or?
I couldn't care less, but I do care when people bastardize Me Too allegations against, people who don't deserve it. And I think, notwithstanding the fact that they can lawyer up with very powerful PR people and lawyers and so on, we have to be very clear-eyed on what looks real and what doesn't, and call it out when it isn't. Otherwise, no one who's actually experienced these things is going to be believed.
Well, I mean, I got to give Megyn Kelly, hold on, this is going to hurt me to say, so much credit here for basically saying, we don't care about her movie, A Simple Favor 2 or whatever. Who cares? The point is, if she made up these Me Too allegations, which Megyn Kelly rightfully says pretty much every one of her allegations has been explained away, then she's bastardizing a movement. So this gets in the way of real victims. By standing up against somebody who made something up, if she did, you are clearing the path so victims have a sort of a highway, a transportation to get to the authorities, to get to the people that can help them, whether it be to share their story and be believed. It gets rid of the boy who cried wolf, if Blake Lively is that.
And what do you think of Hugh Jackman and Taylor Swift being dragged into this? Like, do you think it's unfair or?
Well, I mean, look, either Taylor Swift is her dragon or she isn't. I don't know. That's what Blake Lively says, so I guess I'll have to take her at her word, even though I really shouldn't. So if I were Taylor, I'd speak out about it. Obviously, she's reportedly distanced herself from Blake Lively. All right.
Yeah, there it is. So Taylor Swift deciding not to comment really at all publicly about this shows that
what was meant to be a glittering night of glamour and praise at the Time 100 Gala instead turned into a reckoning for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds the moment Megyn Kelly stepped onto the stage. As Hollywood's elite sat poised for polite applause and scripted tributes, Kelly's tone shifted sharply when she locked eyes with Blake's table, delivering a pointed message about influence built on carefully constructed illusions that sent gasps through the room. Blake's smile reportedly froze, Ryan sat rigid and silent, and the tension became impossible to ignore. But the real chaos unfolded offstage, where the couple allegedly rushed backstage and vanished from public view. According to an event staffer, Blake's polished image collapsed the instant the cameras were gone, with the actress reportedly furious, emotional, and visibly shaken, even throwing her phone in anger while yelling in shock. Meanwhile, Ryan, stripped of his usual laid-back charm, was said to be pacing nonstop, urgently calling their PR team as panic set in over the reputational damage. As Blake reportedly screamed in disbelief at being publicly called out, the moment exposed just how deeply the speech rattled them, revealing a side of Hollywood's golden couple the public was never meant to see. Kelly's words reportedly cut so deeply that the illusion wasn't just cracking, it was collapsing, with one of the most telling moments coming when Ryan was overheard telling Blake, "We need to get our story straight before anyone talks to the press," a comment that suggested strategy and control rather than truth. According to insiders, Blake then turned her fury on her own team, allegedly demanding someone be fired for allowing Megyn Kelly near a microphone, and even insisting that all footage of the speech be destroyed, threatening legal action if it wasn't. Instead of confronting the controversy, the couple vanished from the after-party, fueling speculation that they were deeply shaken. As the industry buzz grew, Kelly's most damaging revelation began to surface, the alleged calculated exploitation of Blake's own mother to sell the Betty Buzz brand. While Blake has long promoted the company as a family-inspired passion project rooted in her mother Elaine's kitchen, Kelly reportedly presented internal messages showing deliberate instructions to push the mom angle, source vintage photos, and lean into nostalgia, despite recipes being developed by hired professionals. Former employees allegedly confirmed Elaine had no real role beyond posing for photos, while texts suggested Blake pushed her team to emphasize her mother's struggles to boost sales. Marketing experts labeled the strategy manipulative commodification, and a family friend claimed Elaine himself felt used and uncomfortable with how her story was being distorted. By the end, Kelly's exposé was described not as a simple speech, but as a full dismantling of a carefully manufactured brand, revealing a polished image unraveling under scrutiny, with Blake Lively now facing a truth she may no longer be able to control.
About the last 2 years of my life, but tonight is not the forum.
So, does that mean she's going to do an Oprah interview? Oh my God, bring it on!
What I will speak to separately is the feeling of being a woman who has a voice today.
Sorry, I keep interrupting, but I got a commentary, and I'm so sick of her saying, a woman who has a voice today, as if she didn't have a voice previously. Girl, you have one of the loudest voices I've seen in Hollywood. You stole the entire damn movie from Justin. You threatened him. I will not promote this unless I get this. I will not do this unless you get that. I will not sign that until I get this. You have the biggest voice I've seen. I've watched far too many interviews. You're all about authorship and getting your way. So don't you dare keep trying to play like you are a woman that doesn't have a voice.
And since I could speak, because of the pain, caution, and fight of the many women who have paved the way and the men who stood beside them.
Oh, thank you all women for allowing me to take this man's movie and be a mean girl and do whatever I want. Thank you, women. I hope you're proud of me now. Are you proud, women? Let me know in the comments as you're watching.
Millions I will never know the name of, because every life, every act, big or small, affects another. Before I say more, I want to warn that I will speak about tonight covers trauma, so please feel free to step away if you need.
Yeah, just leave the gala. Go into the lobby, I guess. And sorry, because I got to share a story to help my PR.
My life was influenced most by my mother, sitting here tonight, Willie Elaine McAlpin.
Oh, Blake's mother. Oh, I don't know what's worse, when celebrities need affection or if they need to have now their parents get affection.
She's an eternal optimist, and she's always leaving me messages, hooping and hollering and saying, "Whoop, life's just a bowl of cherries." It's true, always. And she'll get your number tonight. She'll leave you those messages, so please be warned.
Oh my God, steer clear. Steer clear, people.
But at her urging and her unwavering bravery, she wanted me to share with you that she is the survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman.
She's using the Time 100 Gala to reveal this? Girl, did you forget you had a whole movie about this that you refused to talk about? That literally, someone's like, what do people do if they have this and they want to talk about the subject matter? They can get my social security number or my location share. I don't know. Like, you did everything in your power to avoid this topic. And you had a mom who went through it. And now you're dropping it out during this whole drama that's backfired on you. And you thought this is the time and place? And how convenient that People Magazine's there with their iPhone to catch and post this evening. Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
I've watched her conceal her raw and undeserved shame my entire life. So as her daughter, being asked to share this today is monumental.
Thanks, Mom, for giving me your moment so I can look like a victim through you. This is like when Amber took her assistant's story. Do you guys remember? I didn't think that she could get worse, but I'm speechless.
We name it, we change it. Just as our fellow Time 100 honoree, the incredible Giselle Pellicot, put it to every woman who understood, it's not for us to have shame. It's for them.
The silence from Blake Lively's camp spoke volumes as her team reportedly stonewalled reporters and avoided every question about her mother, while Megyn Kelly escalated her exposé into what she framed as a calculated dismantling of Blake's public persona. Kelly shifted from family exploitation to outlining what she described as a decade-long pattern of manipulation and reinvention, presenting a timeline of contradictory statements that suggested a career built on image control rather than authenticity. She played back-to-back interview clips in which Blake gave completely opposing accounts of how she was discovered, then highlighted inconsistencies between Blake's claims of hating exercise and deleted social media footage showing intense training with an elite celebrity trainer. Kelly questioned which version fans were meant to believe as she continued stacking contradictions, citing former Gossip Girl castmates who allegedly said Blake took credit for improvised lines and creative choices that weren't hers, along with fashion insiders who claimed she made minor tweaks to fully styled outfits before telling the press she styled herself. The most damaging moment came when Kelly challenged Blake's business origin story, contrasting Blake's claims of building her company alone with filings that allegedly showed early backing from powerful Hollywood investors and family connections, reinforcing Kelly's argument that the carefully crafted narrative surrounding Blake Lively was not just inconsistent, but fundamentally manufactured. Kelly continued her takedown with biting precision, joking that Blake's company seemed to have more origin stories than Spider-Man, as a rapid-fire montage of Blake's contradictory interviews played, crediting everything from her grandmother's recipes to a random European bartender to a gap in the market she supposedly discovered, creating what Kelly called a constantly shifting script rather than a genuine journey. The discomfort deepened when Kelly challenged Blake's claim of designing her own Met Gala gown, revealing emails and sketches from 3 designers proving it was their work, despite Blake publicly taking credit. Kelly argued that when confronted, Blake simply pivots, rewrites the story, or implies she was misunderstood, raising the question of when inconsistency becomes deliberate deception. She then turned to Blake and Ryan's private life, exposing how their viral social media moments closely aligned with brand launches and movie releases, supported by a former publicist who claimed every post was pre-planned and approved, even allegedly spontaneous set visits staged with photographers waiting. Kelly went on to allege paparazzi manipulation, showing nearly identical candid shots over the years that appeared choreographed, and cited insiders who said their homes, friendships, and even affection were curated like film sets, with former friends describing a cold, transactional reality once the cameras were off. By the end, Kelly presented data suggesting spikes in public affection whenever relationship rumors surfaced, framing it all as orchestration rather than authenticity, leaving the audience with the sense that the once-envied Blake Lively-Ryan Reynolds fairy tale was not organic at all, but a carefully rehearsed brand narrative, now dangerously close to collapse.
Positioned yourself as the face of your many businesses, which obviously has a huge upside. You can feature Deadpool in these commercials. People know who you are. The downside is you cannot always control what the internet is saying about you.
What I love is he's like, oh, is this softball interviewer actually trying to go somewhere that I told her we're not allowed to go? He's like,
what the headlines are saying about you. So how has that media attention impacted your brand, your businesses?
Well, I mean, it's a good question. And she didn't ask the elephant in the room, but she kind of did, right? She's like, how does all the negative attention affect your businesses? Because if you scroll through the comments of this video, Team Justin all the way. But let's hear his response.
You know, no, it's like Tina Fey says, if you're feeling good about yourself, just go online. You know.
I mean, that's true, but of course he has to position himself right away as the victim.
Which is so true. Honestly, I give a lot of talks to students about storytelling and about, how you can do it in different buckets. You can do it in unexpected ways. My company's North Star is bringing people together in smart, fun, and unexpected ways. And when I do these talks, sometimes the last one I did, I mentioned that the greatest superpower I ever had in my life, I'm not talking about just my career or anything, was knowing who I am. And when you're young and you're in your 20s, at least I was, you're trying on personalities like they're shirts. I mean, you're literally just, I'll be this person, I'll be that person. And one day you've stolen from 1,000, so you're a genius, not a thief. And
thank you for finally admitting you still.
As guests at the Time 100 Gala were still processing Megyn Kelly's explosive revelations, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds reportedly went straight into panic mode, their phones lighting up with urgent calls for managers, agents, and publicists as what insiders described as a career-threatening crisis unfolded. Celebrity crisis manager Tessa Winters characterized the response as an emergency-level operation, a 5-alarm fire protocol, clearly rehearsed in advance. And within 45 minutes of leaving the gala, the machinery kicked in. Blake's Instagram suddenly featured a warm, previously unseen photo of her baking cookies with her children, a carefully timed image meant to counter claims that her family life is more branding than reality. Media insiders quickly pushed back, with entertainment journalist Marco Sanchez alleging the photo came from a private content bank maintained by her PR team, calling it strategic rather than spontaneous. By the next morning, multiple major entertainment outlets published glowing, controversy-free features about Blake's upcoming projects, which media analyst Jordan Chin labeled coordinated puff pieces, pulled from pre-written copy and pushed through friendly editors. Less than 24 hours later came a highly publicized donation to a maternal health charity, a move crisis PR experts described as a textbook pivot to virtue signaling that aligned perfectly with Blake's carefully cultivated devoted mother image. At the same time, digital analysts reportedly observed a sudden flood of nearly identical supportive comments across Blake and Ryan's social media, raising further questions about whether the couple's rapid response was less about authenticity and more about executing a well-oiled damage control strategy. In the first 12 hours alone, analysts reportedly tracked nearly 8,000 comments across 3 platforms using the same phrasing and tone posted within seconds of each other, which digital experts labeled clear, bot-driven engagement designed to manufacture public support. The damage control allegedly extended into live media as well, when Ryan Reynolds abruptly canceled a scheduled appearance on a major morning show, officially citing a throat infection, though a production assistant claimed his team had pressured producers to keep Megyn Kelly and the Gala controversy off limits, and pulled out when they refused. Behind the scenes, 3 journalists also confirmed they were approached by the couple's representatives and offered exclusive access on the condition that Kelly and the scandal never be mentioned, a deal some accepted while others walked away from entirely. By that point, however, the larger impact was already irreversible, as Kelly's exposé shifted public perception, casting doubt on every polished Instagram post, every affectionate red carpet moment, and every charitable gesture. While Blake and Ryan's image machine continues to churn out curated family photos, heartfelt captions, and high-profile philanthropy, something fundamental has changed. Fans are now questioning whether they're seeing genuine people or carefully constructed characters. And as scrutiny grows, the once unshakable illusion appears to be